Next, we'll try to see that there is another important concept is there, which is very important to solve the problems. Principle of deformation path. Now, what's the principle of deformation path? If he says, now let us take a circle. Let us take a circle. This is C1. This is a circle. This is nothing but C1. Okay. And one more circle. If I wanted to have one more circle, let us take the circle in the form of like this. Okay. Let us have the circles in the form of like this. Like this is the circle. This is C1. Okay. Now I am just taking one more circle in the form of like this. This is also one more circle, which is that C2. Okay. So like this, we can have many more circles, which is nothing but moving apart like this. Now this is another point which is nothing but moving, and one more circle is also there. It is nothing but moving in such a way in the direction of like this. Okay. So this is one more circle. Okay. Now you should understand that the C1, C1 and the C2 are nothing but having a fixed point, fixed ends. There are two ends here, which is nothing but going one after the other, which is moving. So the path C2 is obtainable. Now what if we know the C1, we can able to get C2. So the path C1 is obtainable from C1 is obtainable from C2 is obtainable from C1. C2 is obtainable from C1 by continuously moving with the fixed points, with the fixed end points. Continuously moving with the fixed end points. It is just moving with the fixed end points like this. And one more circle. One more circle like this. Okay. So you may have one more circle in the form of like this. This is one more circle you may have, and this is one more circle you may have. Now these are continuously having a fixed end points. The one after the other, it is nothing but moving, right? So fixed end points. Hence what we can write here is hence for analytic f, the value of integral does not change. So the value of integral does not change. It may not change because it is having a fixed end point. There is a fixed end point for the each and every circle. That is C1. We are just taking as C1, and the other one is C2. So C2 is, if we know the C1, C2 will be obtainable because it is for only the fixed end points which we are getting. So this is what this type of principle is say that principle of deformation path. Now there is a theorem regarding the principle of deformation path, that also we can do it very simply. Okay, that we'll try to find out how that theorem says. Now this is the actual concept. The concept is nothing but C2 is obtainable from the C1 by continuously moving with the fixed end points, and F is also is analytic for the is analytic, and it is integrable because the integral does not change. Okay, this is how the concept was. Now we'll try to find out the theorem. According to the theorem, the principle of deformation path, how we can able to get the solution. That is, suppose C1 and C2 are simple closed contours. C1, C2 are simple closed contours positively oriented. They are nothing positively oriented such that C1 is contained inside of C2. C1 is contained inside of C2. So it is C1 is contained inside of C2 let f of z be analytic, f of z be analytic, f of z be analytic in the domain, f of z is analytic in the domain consisting the points, points inside C, consisting the points inside C2 that are outside C1, including at the points on C1 and C2. Then integral C1 f of z dz is equal to integral C2 f of z dz. Now this is the theorem that we need to find out. Now what the theorem says? The theorem is nothing but gives in the form of like this. Okay. The theorem says that suppose there is a circle. Now this is nothing but x-axis and the y-axis. Now I am taking a circle. Now this is nothing but circle which is moving, and this is also a circle C. Okay, let us take this circle which is in the form of like this. Okay, this is a circle. There is one more circle inside. Okay, now this is C1 and this is C2. Like this you can take. Otherwise you can have the circle in the form of like this also. You may have the circle. Now this is a circle and this is one more circle like this. Okay, now this is C1 and this is C2. Okay, now what it says? There are C1, C2 are simple closed contour. Because this is a simple closed contour region. Simply closed contour. Simply connected domain I can say, because only two are there. This is the region and this is another region. Such that C1 is nothing but contained inside of C2. So C1 is nothing but inside of C2. I think you understood. This C1 is inside of C2, right? And f of z is analytic in the domain. Now what are the f of z to take? It is nothing but analytic in the domain and consisting the points inside C2. What are the values are there in the points are there? That is nothing but inside C2 and that are outside of C1. Now these are the points. These are the points which are there in the C2, which is nothing but for C1 they are nothing but outside C1. Including at the points on C1, including the points which are there on the C1 also is going to be included, and on points at the point C1 on C2. So inside the points on the C1 and C2. So therefore what we can write, integral C1 f of z is equal to integral C2 f of z dz. So according to the previous theorem, that is Cauchy's theorem for multiply connected, what we have here is we can get in the form of like this. Proof. So by proof I am writing in the form of like this. Proof is very simple proof. Only two steps are there. The proof. The proof says in the form of like this. By previous theorem. Previous theorem means Cauchy's theorem for multiply connected domain. If we take the theorem, this theorem if we take by previous theorem, Cauchy's theorem for multiply connected domain, then we can get in the form of like this, integral C f of z dz. I am write this as C2, integral C2 f of z dz plus this is in opposite direction. This direction is different. This direction is different. To the both are in the opposite direction. It is moving in opposite direction. Like this is moving. It's also moving in the form like this. So I may write this as minus C1 f of z dz, which is nothing but equal to 0 because f of z is analytic in the entire region, and the points which are nothing but outside C1 and the points which are on the C1 both are included. So therefore C2 f of z dz plus integral C minus C1 f of z dz is nothing but equal to 0. So this I may write as integral C2 f of z dz, okay, minus C1 f of z dz. This also can write as minus of C1 f of z dz according to the theorem. According to theorem, integral minus gamma f of z dz can be taken as minus gamma f of z dz. This is the theorem according to this is a theorem which we have. According to the theorem, if we take minus here, that minus will come here. So therefore, what we have, integral c to f of z dz is equal to integral c1 f of z dz. So therefore, if you know c1, you will be getting as c2. If you are able to find the c2, you will be getting as c1. If suppose for example, it is very much hard to find out c1, it is better to find out c2, that will be equal to the c1. So that's how the principle of deformation path gives a result. So it is nothing but used to find the one integral. If at all you wanted to find the another integral, such that it makes easy us to find the integral which is given in the problem. So c1, if you want to find out c1, then you can find out. If you find c2, that will be equal. So this is how the principle of deformation path it gives. So this is how we can get the solution by using this formula. Okay, so principle of deformation path is like this. Okay, thank you.